Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic and we're going to make an iron skillet potatoes au gratin recipe. So let's get started. I've got a Kamado Joe fire starter down here in a well in the middle of my charcoal, and I'm going to light that up and we're going to let it burn here with the lid open for about 10 minutes. Okay, after I've got my fire going, I've got the divide and conquer rack here in place, and I've got my accessory rack in the lower position, and I'm going to put both halves of my heat deflector on the accessory rack where it's elevated a little bit rather than in the lowest position, because today we're going to set up to cook at 400 degrees or right thereabouts. So I'm going to put that in the lower position there and have it elevated, and I'm going to put my cooking rack in the top position, and then I'm just going to give my cooking rack a quick brush, and we're going to let this guy come up to temp, and like I said, we're going to go to about 400 degrees. So I'm going to show you how we'll set those vents. Okay, tonight to get our classic set up at about 400 degrees, I'm going to close the bottom vent about halfway, and I'm going to close the slider on the top vent all the way for now and open the daisy wheel fully, and we're going to let it come up. And as I get closer to 400 degrees, if I need to cool it down, I'll close the daisy wheel, or if I need to warm it up, I'll open the slider a little bit. So we're just going to let her stabilize, like I said, at 400 degrees. While our grill's warming up, I've got a small saucepan here. I'm going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter. This is unsalted butter, and as that butter's melting, I'm going to add about a half a tablespoon of salt to that. If you're using salted butter, you can skip that part, and we're just going to let this butter melt completely over medium heat. After that butter is almost completely melted, I'm going to turn my heat up to medium high, and then we're going to whisk in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And we're going to continue to cook this until this starts to turn a light brown color. Okay, after that butter starts to get a light brown color, I'm going to reduce the heat back to medium, and we're going to add 2 cups of whole milk. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic and 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and then just a dash of black pepper. And we're going to combine that, and we're going to let this come to almost a simmer. We don't want to boil this, and right before it comes to a simmer, we're going to take it off the heat and set it aside. Okay, this is just about to a simmer, so I'm going to turn this heat off, and we're just going to set this aside. I've got a 10-inch iron skillet here that I've oiled, and I have taken 3 decent sized russet potatoes and sliced them up fairly thinly. So we're going to layer the bottom of this pan with 1 layer of these russets, and then I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some shredded cheddar as well. And then we're just going to repeat that layer, and once again a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan and some more shredded cheddar, and we're going to keep repeating this layer until we use up all of our potatoes. So I've got roughly 4 layers of potatoes here, so we are going to, at this point, we're going to dump on our butter and milk mixture all over that, and then we're going to top that off with yet another batch of shredded cheddar. And since this isn't your mama's potatoes au gratin, I think we're going to top this guy off with some sliced pepperoni. That's looking pretty good. So let's take this guy and put it on the grill. Okay, we've got the classic right up to 400 degrees, so I'm going to burp the grill, and then we're going to slide it open, and we're going to set this pan. It's going to be just slightly off center so we can get the lid closed there. So we're going to cook this guy for the first 15 minutes here at 400 degrees uncovered, and we'll be back at 15 minutes to have a look. We've been going for 15 minutes or so here, so I'm going to burp the grill again, and we're going to open it up, And I am going to cover this loosely with foil. And we're going to let that continue to cook there for 45 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, we've been going for a total of an hour now. So I'm going to burp the grill again. We're going to pull this open, and we're going to get this foil off of here. And we're going to let this guy continue to cook for just a couple of more minutes uncovered, and then we'll be back to take it off. Okay, this cook is done. So I'm going to take this off. We're going to take it inside, let it cool for a bit, and then we're going to have a taste. Okay guys, I've given this a chance to cool, so man, I can't wait to taste this. I'm going to dip some out. We're going to have a taste. It smells fantastic. Okay guys, let's take a taste of this. I'm going to get a piece of this right here off the top with some of that pepperoni on it. See what we've got. Oh man, that's delicious guys. This is the first time I've ever tried putting pepperoni on top of just a simple potatoes au gratin dish. That's definitely an optional concept, but it brings a really fantastic flavor to this. You'll have to give it a try sometime. Everything about this recipe's got a lot of flavor. The onion and garlic really comes together in this with the cheese, especially the Parmesan cheese is coming through nicely also. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/KamadoJoe. Follow us on Twitter @KamadoJoe. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.